So also Christ glorified not himself to be made an high priest, but he that said unto him, Thou art my Son, today have I begotten thee. As he saith also in another place, Thou art a priest for ever, after the order of Melchizedec, who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared, though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him, called of God an high priest, after the order of Melchizedek.
Book of like Joshua judges of a guy named Adonai-Tzedek, who is the head of this area. So it's apparently a continuity. But what is this order? What did he do? Well, it is believed that Noah set up from before the flood the continuity of service. Remember what a priest is. A priest is not one who is served. He is not an aggrandized individual. He's not holier than thou. The servant is the one who gets down and dirty. Go look at the actual history of the priesthood in Jerusalem. Who or what were the priests? They were the butchers. They were in there slaughtering the animals. They got filthy, they got dirty, and they were serving people from sunup to sunset, and that's their job. They were not aggrandized. They were not holier than thou. When Abraham met Melchizedek, tradition tells us that Melchizedek ordained Abraham and made him a Melchizedekian priest and gave to him the responsibility, that's what a priesthood is, responsibility, to continue the traditions of service, to teach the ways of God, El Elyon, and to be a role model and an example. That is what Melchizedek Shem was. That is what Noah was before him, Enoch before him, and going on back. Abraham took that very seriously and acted as the servant of God. Passed this on to his son Isaac, according to our traditions. Isaac passed it on to Jacob, and Jacob, of course, to his sons. Later, we know that all the nation of Israel are called a nation of priests. Why? What is the priesthood of all Israel? All Israel, all 12 tribes, not just the Jews, are Melchizedekian priests whose job it is to serve. Serve God, serve humanity by being role models and examples. So when we read later in Isaiah about the suffering servant, that is the example of the Melchizedekian priest.
Sirach 38:10, leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Warakakadash. Much love and honors to the real ones out there, the few, the chosen, the separated from these world, and the kicked out of the synagogue, kicked out ones, kicked out of the camps. Because Lord, he's not dealing with the camps. He's not dealing with a lot of the elders in this moment of time anymore. He's only dealing with those that have actually fulfilled a long time and a short time and fulfilled the law, loving the Lord and loving their brother, by the same time being hated of this world and hated of men, rejected of this generation. So it's a balance with the Lord. It's a balance. And I've been recently checking out this TV series, this documentary TV series about the Gospels and the Lord, and what he was doing, so on and so forth. And it's pretty heavy. It really opens up your eyes to the life of Yahushai and his humble beginnings. And he was talking to the children. He was talking to the children. Children were coming up to him. Like, where's your house? Where's your home? He's like, well, I'm traveling. I have a lot of different trades. But the children accepted him. You know, for the most part, there were some children like, oh, what if he's a murderer? What if he's a bad man? You know, but that's how it is with this truth. You know, like some people gonna reject the Lord and His anointed, His servants, His prophets, and only a few are actually gonna receive what it is we're saying. Luke 4:32, and they were astonished at His doctrine, for His word was with power. Right, so the Lord, when He would speak, it was with power. The light was on. And same thing with us. We have the power, and our lights are on. You see, our lights are on, and it's shining, and everything is coming to light. You know, nothing is hidden, and all the workers of darkness, there's nowhere they can hide. You know, now that the bride is basically engaging in that covenant being made with Yahushua, entering into them, like the Lord said in John, I in them in me, that thou mayest be glorified. So Lord's being glorified through the virgin, the wife of the Lord. You see, Wisdom of Solomon 8:1. And this was the wisdom that comes from above. And the wisdom that comes from above is peaceable, is gentle, is kind, is loving, is affectionate, it's understanding, it's a reasoning spirit. While the wisdom that comes from beneath of this world, it's everything but opposite. It's hateful, it's proud, it's arrogant. You know, the wisdom of this world is like, oh, I know everything. No one can tell me anything. And that's how a lot of guys are in this truth, sadly, but it's true. You know, they know it all already. Matter of fact, before I go here, let me get this precept. Because Yahushua, He didn't come for those that were whole already, that didn't confess their faults and like ask and beg and beseech the Lord that they wanted Him and they wanted to be repaired by Him, you know, and fixed and healed, you know. Therefore, this sin remains, says Mark chapter 2 and verse 16. And when the scribes and Pharisees saw Him eat with publicans and sinners, they said unto His disciples, how is it that He eateth and drinketh with publicans and sinners? When Yahushua heard it, He saith unto them, they that are whole have no need of the physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. So the Lord didn't come to call any of those that have their own righteousness. That's what it means by that. You see, they were righteous in their own eyes. And when you watch this documentary, this episodes of this gospel, it shows you more in depth of how exalted and how comfortable the Pharisees and scribes were. And when they came across certain, like you had Mary Magdalene, like when they came across her, they tried to exorcise the demons off her, but they couldn't do it because their word wasn't with power. See, God wasn't with their words. God wasn't speaking through them. So the Pharisee, he tried to heal this woman of her evil spirit, the legions, and the legion literally spake through her, and the legion said through her, it said, you have no power here. Your word have no power, or something like that. So it's heavy. And you know, he left baffled, he left confounded. But a couple days later, they word went out and word spread that Mary Magdalene was healed. She was she was healed, she was cured. And everyone, the whole Sanhedrin was surprised. It was like, oh, what do you mean? What's going on? They were perplexed. And the Pharisee that tried to cleanse her of the evil spirit with like herbs and stuff and carnal things and just speaking the word but without power, he's like, oh, well, maybe it worked. Maybe what I did worked. And then he went to go inquire of her, and she basically told him to his face, he's like, this is not because of you. This is because of someone else. He's like, who is it? And she's like, I can't tell you right now. you know. So it was really heavy, you know. So the Lord chose those that went through a lot of hell, because those that are forgiven of much, they love much. They're going to love a lot. They're going to feed the sheep a lot. They're not going to be wary and well doing, and they're not going to do this of necessity, but willingly. They're going to do this work willingly, out of a pure heart, a charity, you know, just for the Lord and just because of the love. All right. Wisdom Solomon 8 says, wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. And the Lord, he's putting in order his woman, his possession, his prized possession. When you go to Job, because the Lord, he's not the author of confusion, but of peace in all the churches. You see, so a lot of the men of our nation in the world, their God isn't our God. Their God is of confusion. They don't understand what's going on. They're stumbling at the word, you see. They're not building upon Yahushai. You know, they're not considering how they're building. They're actually like stumbling over the word, you know, that's on the bottom with the lowly, honored of the lowly, while they're all focused and have their attention towards the ones that are in high seats up high when the Lord's not there. You know, like brothers always bring out that point, how the chariots are going to swing low. They're going to swing low. These sweet chariots swing low. They're not going to swing high. Isaiah 44 and verse 6 says, matter of fact 5, because it's heavy, because you know, the Pharisee, he basically, if I'm not mistaken, he read a scripture to the woman, try to heal her of that demon, and the legion was like, you have no power here, you know, you can't do anything. But then Yahushai read the scripture to her, and then it broke her, you see. And that's what the sacrifices of the Lord are, a broken and contrite spirit, a broken heart. And that's what Yahushua had to do, you know. She asked for some drink, and the bartender gave it to her, but he didn't really want to. And then Yahushua popped up, and he was like, no, that's not for you. You know, it's heavy, like that drink is not for you. You know, that cup was for the Lord to drink, you know, and that cup symbolizing him dying for the nation of Israel's sins, you know, for our iniquities. By his stripes we're healed. So that's mad heavy, you know. So Lord breaks down, he builds up better, he builds up stronger, you see. So same thing with our life, like you might break down, like you might have a breakdown, you might cry, or something might happen in your life, you know, it's really touching, it really changes you. But after that experience, after the rain, right, after the rain comes sun, comes clear skies. So that clarity of mind, you know, a clear mind, you know, it's heavy. And you actually like get stronger and wiser and better from learning from that experience, whether it was negative or positive. You know, but mostly through the painful things, you learn a lot and you change for the better. You get more disciplined, you get more stronger. Things aren't able to deceive you or trick you as it maybe once has. Like on the real, like the scripture say, we were sometimes in darkness, be ye not children of darkness. So we was sometimes under the spell of just following men blindly, you know, elders and camps and shit. But we found out from doing a diligent search, you know, seeking those that have the glory like unto us, not glorying in ourselves or our own camp or in our flesh, but glorying in that we know the Lord. You know, only a few actually know Yahushai. Not a lot of guys know Yahushai. Yahushai hasn't revealed himself unto everybody. Isaiah 44 and 5, one shall say, I am the Lord's. Right, one, not many, one. And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and shall name himself by the name of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. Right? So, guys, they want to be beside the Lord. They want to be in front of the Lord. They want to be the Lord, but they're not willing to do what the Lord did because they have sin. And they're, like I said, they have the wisdom that's from this world. So they're proud. They're arrogant. They think that they know it all already. So they can't be taught anything as a little child can. Verse 7, and who as I shall call and shall declare it and set in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Let them show unto them. You see? And the Lord, he's our God that reveals secrets, to those that he can entrust his secrets and his true riches with, you see. And it's heavy because they say, if you want to hide anything from Jake, you just put it in a book. And that's what the Lord has done. He's put his words, his true riches, right, true wealth in a book, in the Bible. And it's hidden. It's hidden. And it's heavy because even a lot of guys in camps, like you notice they don't read the Gospels. They just, whatever men tell them to read, they read. Oh, go read Isaiah 4:1. They don't read the Gospels, so they keep the gospel from them. Like they shut the door of heaven up unto men. They don't go in, they can't get in, and they're staying without the temple, and they're like shutting the kingdom off from other men that are trying and attempted to enter in. Like, no, don't go that way. Come over here. I'm the greatest king. I've been the truth for 100 years. Deceiving and tricking you to give me all your money. That's what guys are doing, man. And we see right through you guys, man. We see right through y'all, man. And Yahushai, the word is not in y'all prophets. Y'all false. It was Psalm 8:2. I loved her and saw her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. In that she is conversant with God, she magnifieth her nobility, yet the Lord of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God, and a lover of his works, right? The works are what? Hidden. But things of the Pharisees, scribes, and elders and chief priests, which are back here today, those spirits are back here again today, all over again. They don't love the work of the Lord. They hate the work of the Lord. They despise it. They reject it. And they do anything in their power to stop it and hinder it, you see? Like you had that sorcerer. He was hindering the word of God. He was a great sorcerer. He was known as some great one. He was deceiving the people. And then all of a sudden, Paul and Barnabas showed up and they crashed the party. They stopped that bullshit. And they made him blind. So we're making guys blind, you see? We're making them weak. We're taking away their power of darkness with the power of light. Slack it. Wisdom Psalm 8 and verse 5. Because these guys, they need to be seen of men. They need their face in the camera. Look at me, listen to me, do what I tell you. But they're not telling you to listen to Yahushai and do what the Lord told you, because they're fucking hypocrites. A lot of you guys, man, GMS included, definitely GMS included. You're great in wickedness, man. You're great filthy stones. That's what you guys are. That's what you guys embody, man. And a lot of our people are starting to wake up and realize what's going on. Because if you don't realize it pretty soon, you're going to die with this world. You're going to perish one way or the other. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Wisdom Psalm 8 and verse 5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that art is a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. And like we read in verse 1, wisdom directeth all things. She puts everything in order. And that's the Lord's doing with us. Let me go to Job. And those that have the God of this world and they're like deceived and they haven't been brought to the marvelous light, they're not going to like when other brothers are being set up and set in order under Yahushai, their head, not under man. They're going to be mad at that, you see, and good. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, let all things be done decently and in order. And order is a structure. With order, there's peace. And there's no confusion and chaos. Psalms 50 and verse 21 says that these things has done, and I kept silence, right? So they were doing all this wickedness, and the Lord was silent for a time, but now he's speaking in the end. In the end, it shall speak and not lie. It's not going to lie like you goddamn deceivers and devils out there. It says, and I kept silence, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. So these guys thought in the deceitful mind that the Lord Yahushua was like them, sold out, respected persons, robbing the people, arms and ties. He's not like y'all, man. Even when the time of the Messiah, when he was coming onto the earth, a lot of people had the wrong picture of what Yahushua would be. A lot of people thought that, he's going to come on a horse with weapons and he's going to go to war with the Romans. That wasn't the case. The Lord said, you know not what spirit ye are in. The Lord didn't come to kill lives. He came to save lives. That's what his mission was then. But now it's a little bit more different. He's going to save the elect, but in the process of the saving of the elect, he's going to destroy all the guilty blood. He's going to destroy all the wickedness, all the wicked. He's going to destroy them all. He's coming back with a sword now. Not coming back as a lamb, but a lion. Says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. You see, so the Lord, he's using his men to speak out and not stop talking, not shut up, not stop their mouths, and reprove in the gate. And we're being hated for that case, which is a good thing. So we're hated of men, we're hated of camps and elders and all this shit. We're hated, man. The guys hate us, man. When you guys think of us or hear us or whatever, they get red like Esau, But we're loved of the Lord, you see. And that's all we care about. That's all you gotta care about, is that you have the Lord's validation, not man. 2 Ezra 14:13. Now therefore set that house in order. So first you have to put yourself in order, and then you're gonna be able to get others in order. You can't be a hypocrite. A lot of guys, they don't even rule their own household. They got probably women ruling over them because they're ungodly. They got an ungodly woman. And then they're trying to tell other men in the camps and this truth of our nation what to do. See, now therefore set that house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. So a lot of guys have been corrupted by this world, and we're renouncing them. That word renounce is to reject. And Lord said after the second and third admonition, reject them. They're heathens. Renounce is to formally declare one's abandonment. Whoo! So guys abandoned their first love. They've abandoned the truth. And now we're telling you to reject them. You see, reject them. They're heathens. Let go from the immortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. And that's what we're doing. In our mind, our thoughts, our cares we're casting them upon Yahushua, not upon this world. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 8, it says, if a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders in the events of seasons and times. You see how heavy that is? So you dwelling with wisdom, and wisdom being your spouse and your wife, and being one with the Lord in wisdom, right? Lord only loves those that dwell with wisdom. Lord's gonna get you privy. He's gonna get you hip to everything that's going on. No one's gonna be able to pull a quick one over your eyes. You're gonna see everything before it comes. Just like Yahushua, he knew that the centurions and Judas Iscariot was coming before they even came. He was ready for them. He's like, yeah, I'm here. This is me. I'm here. You're like, you're Yahushua? He's like, yeah, I am. See, we're in that same spirit where we already realize what's about to happen before it even happens. So nothing's gonna catch us off guard or by surprise. You see. At the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches. Ecclesiastes 43 and verse 10. Now, I want to get this word for order. Psalms 119 and 133. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. You see, so our steps are being ordered in the word. Yahushua is a word, so we're actually following the Lord's footsteps. And iniquity, sinners, sin, death has no dominion or power over us and what we're doing. That's what is causing us to be free. And the word is having no limits, you know. So going into this word order, I want to get this word for order. In the Hebrew is kawan. And it means established, firm, to be set up, to be stable, right? To be enduring. It goes into be steadfast in a moral sense, to be prepared, be ready, right? This is going into order, arrange, direct toward, provide for, make ready, right? So this is going into the word order, which that's what we're getting put under. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so I keep thy precepts. So we're being delivered from the oppression of not just Esau, but also the wicked men that's using this truth and ruling over our people in wickedness. You see? Now, when you go to Ezra's, Second Ezra's 2 and verse 47, it says, outside of verse 46, says, then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowned them and gave them palms in their hands? Now this young person is Yahushai. He has a dew of youth. He has eternal life. He never gets old. Like when you get old, you start to lose your mind. You start to get Alzheimer's. You forget what's going on. You forget who your wife is and stuff like that. You know, you can't hear good. But the Lord has a dew of youth, and he's given that to his men. You see? And we're never going to die. We're never going to grow old or get into that spirit. Like, see, with Joshua, he served the Lord and followed the Lord and led our people even up until his own age. He was fighting the wars, and that spirit's upon the little ones that's causing the elect to inherit our inheritance in this world. And I want to say this too, like what's really heavy when you understand more about the Lord and the Spirit and how the Spirit works is like the Lord, he's going to take things away from you in the flesh. He's going to, you're going to get a thorn in the flesh. You might not be able to be as athletic as you once were, but in the Spirit and this word, you're going to be going above and beyond. You're going to be doing miracles as Yahushua did. You'll be doing great works. So it says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I to greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. You see, so it's not who man commends, but who the Lord commends. And they didn't stand so stiffly for their camp. See, it's not guys that are standing stiffly for GMS or One West or whatever, Sakari, whatever camp. It's for the men that's standing stiffly for the name of the Lord and not turning back, you know, and not taking heed to what man tells them and what man says is right, but really saying, no, man's a lie and the Lord is true. Because there's only one mediator, there's only one high priest, that's Yahushua. There's no longer needed any other sacrifice other than Yahushua. All right. And I'm going to bring this out again because we brought this out at camp. Job 37 and 19. Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. So guys, they can't order their speech aright because they're in darkness, they're in gross darkness. So the word has no place in them, because where the Lord is, there is light, there is truth. Ecclesiastes 12 and 9. And moreover, and this is the purpose of the preacher, which a preacher is a prophet, a teacher. See, and moreover, and it's heavy because they have that saying, you practice what you preach. So we're practicing and rehearsing these righteous acts, you see. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yeah, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. And that's beautiful, man. And see, we've lost, and this truth has come at a price. Like when you sell your soul to Satan, it comes at a price. You have to die young, or you have to sacrifice one of your families or loved ones close to you. You know, all kind of wickedness. Like your body isn't your own anymore. You have to do all kind of wicked sacrifices to Satan. But when you sacrifice to the Lord, he's going to take away things that's pleasurable and comfortable in the flesh, but he's going to give you the spirit. He's going to give you a free mind. No one's going to be able to tell you what to do or rule over you or to have dominion over you in iniquity and sin. You see? Now, I want to keep reading and close off here in Ecclesiastes 8. Ecclesiastes 8 and 9, it says, therefore I purpose to take her. And I'm going to say this too, because the Lord said in Psalms, the Lord, he doesn't take pleasure in the legs of man. So, going into how high you jump, how fast you run, you can beat people up boxing wise and shit like that, carnal shit. The Lord doesn't care about that. The Lord doesn't care about that. When you look at like slavery, we look at like a Columbines, like when they're like practicing to be a professional athlete, like football and shit, right? They're looking at who jumps the highest, who runs a 40-yard dash the fastest. But the Lord looks at the heart, man. You see? And when you're in the spirit, you're gonna understand that. You're gonna understand that time has passed for us. You see? But now our time is everlasting, and it's in the spirit. The Lord's gonna renew us with the dew of you. While when you go to Isaiah 40, the Lord said that the youth shall faint, but those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So our strength is being renewed day by day. A wise man is strong, yet he increaseth in strength. So actually we're increasing in strength. We're getting stronger and stronger. And while men that are in the flesh, strong and carnally minded, they're actually getting weaker. But on the outside, it may seem like, oh, they're stronger than us. They're really not, man. Because they're not willing and they're not able to go through what we're going through. This is a straight gate, which leads unto life. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 9. Therefore I purpose to take her to me to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things and in comfort and cares and grief, right? So this word comforts us in our grief, because with wisdom is much grief, much sorrow. It says, for her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude and honor with the elders, though I be young. You see? So, and it's not double honors like you phony elderlies, man. It's going into how the honor which Daniel had in the book of Susanna, which guys will never bring out. Daniel was given the honor of an elder because he rose up when no one else would, and he judged righteously. He divided the wicked up, and he found the truth out, that there was both liars, and he judged them. He put them under their own judgment. See, that's why the Lord said in Matthew 7, with what you judge, you shall be judged. So them wicked, corrupted elders that wax old in their wickedness in the book of Susanna, they wanted to judge the wife, Susanna. They wanted to condemn her to death, So with what judgment they judged the righteous, they fell into that pit that they try to make for the righteous. See, same thing's happening now. It says, I shall be found of a quick conceit and judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. When I hold my tongue, they shall abide my leisure, and when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. Moreover, by the means of her, I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. Because the Lord said in Sirach, if we perish, then, our name will live on. But if we live through it all, then we're going to increase our name, increase the name of the Lord. I shall set the people in order. You see, I shall set the people in order. Order in the court. And the nation shall be subject unto me. And that the first nation that is going to get subjected is Israel, is getting put in their place. Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do hear of me. I shall be found good among the multitude and valiant in war. After I am come into mine house, I will repose myself with her, and for her conversation hath no bitterness, and to live with her hath no sorrow, but mirth and joy. You see, so we're valiant in war, but the warfare is not carnal, but mighty through the pulling down of strongholds, that things that exalt themselves above Yahushua in the word. You see? So the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but spiritual and mighty. The Lord said, the wise man is stronger than 10 mighty men that taketh the city. You see? It says, verse 17, now when I consider these things in myself and ponder them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality. And that's what we're doing. We're taking it. Just like Achilles when he was on that ship, and he was talking to his men. He's like, I'd rather war with you than an army of 1,000. You see? Hey, remember this, you are lions. He said, immortality's over there. Take it. It's yours. See, so it's ours for the taking. We're the only ones that's taking it upon us, man. Bearing our cross daily. And, you know, they were the only thing I want to say about that scene is that they were the first one on that beach. They were the first ones that touched shoes on that beach. So they weren't waiting till everyone else went. See, a lot of you guys ain't warriors. You're waiting till everybody else goes on the beach to go to war and go into the danger. And then once it gets cooled down, right, lukewarm, you want to be the last one there and act like you was the first one. You guys ain't nothing. You guys ain't the first fruits, man. All you camps, GMS included, man. Deaf for you guys, man. You guys are proud and arrogant. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 18. And great pleasure is to have her friendship, and in the works of her hands is infinite riches, and in the exercise of conference with her prudence, and in talking with her a good report, when I went about seeking how to take her to me. For I was a witty child and had a good spirit. Yet rather being good, I came into a body undefiled. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except God gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him, and with my whole heart I said, O God of my fathers, and Lord of mercy, who hast made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which has made, and order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sitteth by thy throne, and reject me not from among thy children. Right? So a point of wisdom is understanding that how you got this wisdom. It was a gift from the Lord. See, this wasn't taken or you know, we didn't rob it. We were given this as a gift. So a lot of guys, they made this truth, the temple of the Lord, into a den of thieves, were actually like taking it and acting like it's the wisdom of the Lord, but really have the wisdom of men, the devilish wisdom that is from beneath. Verse 5, for I have thy servant and son of thine handmaid, am a feeble person. You see, the feeble, the weak shall be as David, shall be as the angel, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. For though man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. So a lot of guys, they have all this information, but they don't have charity, they don't have wisdom, they don't have Yahushai that is by the Lord's throne. So they are nothing regarded. You see, so to the few out there that have sacrificed and have lost a lot, but guess what? They're gaining everlasting life. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Wow Kakadash, above all, death to the wicked, and shalom to the elect, the house of David. Shalom. And I just want to say this too. You know, the Lord, going into wisdom of Solomon, the wisdom of Yahushai was far exceeded the wisdom of Solomon. Solomon was the king. He was exalted. Yahushai, even when he was given that position, they wanted him to be king, he actually forsook that. He walked away from that. And that is actually the greatest wisdom, understanding what time you're in, understanding the rulership, the dominion, and the kingdom, whose kingdom this is. This is the kingdom of the wicked. And Yahushai, his wisdom, the wisdom, he was a poor man, because the Lord, he was made poor that we may be rich through him. So we're rich through Yahushai, through the Spirit, through real wisdom. And even when you look at like David, for example, he wasn't even in the military. He wasn't even a soldier in the military. So you have to understand how surprising and astonishing and out of nowhere, out of left field, this was with the men of the Lord when they were chosen to stand up for the Lord and win great victories for our people, So all them soldiers, King Saul, Jonathan, all the soldiers, all David's brothers, they wouldn't stand up to Goliath. They didn't have faith. They didn't want to lay down their life. They were doubting. They were scared of how carnal, how big he was. But David, he trusted in his God, his power, and he understood that the Lord, he ruled in the kingdom of men, and he is a God of war. You see, and if you're for the Lord, then you can never go wrong. You can never lose. You can never lose in the spirit. Ecclesiastes 9:15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Right. So no one's remembered Yahushua, the one that delivered the city. The city is symbolic of New Jerusalem. So only the ones being stirred up with their pure minds is remembering who it is that is actually delivering us from our sins, who's actually delivering us from this wickedness, from delivering us from these faithless, wicked men in these camps. You know, bearing false witness, speaking evil of the truth, so on and so forth. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. So our words are not going to be heard by the masses. It's going to be ignored, despised, and rejected, just as Yahushua was. So you have to understand that with the wisdom of Solomon. You know, I know I'm going into wisdom of Solomon, but it's all about the wisdom of Yahushua. Yahushua said there's a greater than Solomon here in the temple. You see? So the Lord, he always uses the weak things and the things that carnal men and establishments and the synagogue and Pharisees and elders didn't really look towards to. They didn't even acknowledge or even want. You see, but the Lord wants. The Lord chose, not men. Shalom.